Welcome to GNT, your one-stop shop for gaming news and whatever else we want to talk about. I'm Nick.
And I'm Brandon.
Today we're going to start off with some kind of exciting cross-platform news. Rocket League is awaiting Sony's approval for cross-platform play, so they're all in for PlayStation, Xbox, and PC to play together. And it's just up to Sony at this point, which I would think Sony would approve that pretty quick. I mean, it looked only bad on them if they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, they've already got a good lead on Xbox as far as console sales, but, you know, at the end of the day, if they're there to, help the gamers out or entertain the gamers, then I think that's a must-make move for them.
Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of time before you'll see it relatively regularly. Not everything, but I could see where your Call of Duties, maybe, but the problem with them is they have that, one console get the DLC before the other console, which that could present not a problem, but, I think that would be a big franchise to get on the whole cross-platform play. I think, I think... if your common goal is to entertain the gamers and they choose your console, then why not let them play with somebody else from the other console? They've already bought your console, Yeah. You've already won that, fight. So just give the players what they want. If they want to be able to play with people on other consoles, I think that's just the move they need to make.
Oh, and PlayStation, you have to pay now to play online, don't you?
Yeah, it's been like that for a while.
I know, I remember way back when they talked about it, that was the issue, was PlayStation was free, so it's like, well, everybody's going to move to PlayStation, but now since you have to pay for either, that kind of gets rid of that problem. Yeah,
PlayStation's online service it's all right. It's not as smooth as Microsoft's, Xbox Live, but it's close. I mean, I have both consoles, and playing the Xbox is just a little easier, and I've grown accustomed to some of the other little creature comforts of, being able to do the movies and stuff all pretty quickly. If I want to maybe rent a movie, I can, click a few menus and I'm there.
Yeah.
So it does have that real all-in-one box feel to it, which is relatively smooth. With the Kinect and having the voice commands, that's something I take for granted now at this point, but if I didn't have it, I might, I would notice it, It would be something I would struggle with not having.
Yeah. Then we have GTA Cunning Stunts, which we talked about before, and it will continue to get updates and get more content for that, which I finally sat down to play it last night, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, there's the one track, it was a dirt bike track, it was in the middle of the city, and like, you're going on these ramps all over the city, jumping over buildings, and it was really cool.
Yeah, once again, kudos to Rockstar for creating, or continued creating fun and enjoyable content for that GTA Online. Free content.
Yeah.
I mean, you could easily see other companies slap $10, $15 price tag on DLC like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, and it's fun. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a lot of fun to get on there and just piss around with your friends, doing all sorts of crazy races and laughing and having a good time and flying off the track a million times like you will do if you're like me.
Yeah, me too.
And then adding the cars. I mean, how many cars does that game need to have? I mean, they just continue to add, and it's just one of those things where it's just like unbelievable the amount of effort they've put into that game, and it shows. I mean, it did really well selling.
Oh, yeah.
But it's nice to see that kind of payback to the fans for people who invested in it. I mean, you bought a game for $60, and I mean, I don't know which one I would say has had that much replay value and still stays relevant for X amount of years after it's been released. I mean, you just don't see that. I mean, beyond like MMO, usually game DLC drops off after about a year.
Yeah.
The developers are working on the next installment of the game, so they just kind of put that in the back burner. But Rockstar continues to, bring that content to the players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was great. Ubisoft teased an AR, an augmented reality game, after Pokemon Go's success. I'd be curious to see another game come out like that. For some reason, I don't know if there will be another game like Pokemon Go. Maybe they'll make a cool game and it'll be really successful, but I don't know if I see this as being a long-term trend.
I actually do.
Yeah.
I think the fact that it's kind of now the ideal thing is for kids to go out and play a sport or get some physical exercise, but you're still getting outside and going around wanting to go places and kind of see the sights. And at the end of it, if you get a Pokemon, I mean you're not diminishing the fact that you did get out of the house, you did go someplace. And I think the biggest thing is they need to make it so the players are safe. We see a lot of people, in the news getting hurt because they're playing Pokemon Go, and that's kind of what could hurt the augmented reality game direction if developers don't try to find a way to keep the players safe. But I think that with the huge success of Pokemon Go, I mean, for the most part, I think everybody is playing smart. They're not. I mean, you are going to have those few instances where people do something, but I don't think you'll ever, go 100% accident free with something like that.
No.
But I think it could do well.
Yeah. Do you think this will be a long-term AR thing? Let us know in the comments below. Next up, we have the Batman the Telltale series trailer, which we just watched, and I'm excited for this. I haven't played a Telltale series. I played Walking Dead, and then I played the Minecraft one a little bit. I never finished it, but I haven't played one in a while. But this was a PS4, right?
PS4, PS3 exclusive. So
I'm not sure if it's enough for me to buy a PS4, but it looks good.
Yeah, they have a nice way of doing their games. We go back to that discussion from a previous episode of art direction over, the realistic graphics. And, I applaud a company like Telltale for sticking to their vision, not trying to conform to, whatever these other companies are and thinking that they need to be as realistic as possible.
Yeah.
Their vision is to tell a story with a certain art style and direction, and so far they've done that with all their games, and so I hope that they continue to stick with that. Their games have a lot of success, so they should just keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah. And then we talked about before the mascot for Kojima Productions. I think you were speculating as if that was Norman Reedus' character in Death Stranding, and he came out and said that mascot is not in Death Stranding. I forget, he had a name for it. I didn't write it down, and there's actually another picture of it. So I'm not sure if that's going to be another game or what that's for, but it's not in Death Stranding.
I would like to see him revive the Zone of the Ender series. They only had a couple games come out for that, but I really enjoyed that series. Once again, it had, a different art style, kind of Japanese anime-ish, but fun gameplay, neat story, and it was just a good game. I really liked it.